안녕하세요. 저는 크립토소울 대표 강현정이라고 합니다. 사실 제가 이, 이 행사를 좀 서포트하고 싶어서 크립토소울의 커뮤니티 파트너로 참여하게 되었습니다. 그래서 크립토소울은 원래 이제 미덥 자체 미덥도 진행하지만 또 다양한 프로젝트를 지원하기 때문에 이번에 캐리 프로토콜과 오리진 프로토콜이 같이 공동 미덥을 한다고 했을 때 좀 많이 저도 좀 기쁘고, 또 제가 행사를 지난주에 큰 컨퍼런스를 했는데 거기 또 오리진 프로토콜 조시가 또 발표를 해주셔서 좋은 기쁜 마음으로 이렇게 행사를 지원하게 됐습니다. 너무 반갑고요. 저희 시작하기 전에 일단 제 소개는 했고, 이제 앞으로 오리진 프로토콜 먼저 시작하겠습니다. 그래서 한국에서 많이 텔레그램에서 많이 보실 거예요. 밀라 앤 케이. 그래서 한국말도 잘 하시고, 그래서 한국말로 일단 소개를 좀 간단하게 오리진 프로토콜에 대해서 소개를 하겠습니다. 이제 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 네.
네, 여러분 안녕하세요. 저 오리진 프로토콜의 K라고 합니다. 수영님도 같이 오세요.
네, 안녕하세요. 저 오렌지 프로토콜 한국 커뮤니티 담당하고 있는 밀라라고 합니다.
네, 정말 저희가 이번에 한국의 두 번째 미덥인데요. 저번에 해시드 라운지에서 저희 첫 공식 미덥을 했었고요. 이제 저희 두 번째 미덥에 이렇게 와주셔서 대단히 감사드립니다.
박수 한번 쳐주세요.
네, 저는 이제 샌프란시스코에서 재무 담당을 해요. 근데 이제 또 한국인이고 이렇게 조씨와 한국 커뮤니티를 위해서 또 이번에 비즐 서울 컨퍼런스를 위해서 이렇게 왔는데요. 이렇게 캐리 프로토콜과 같이 미덥을 하게 돼서 정말 영광이고, 앞으로 저희가 한국에 더 많이 이렇게 여러분들과 직접 소통하는 이런 미덥 같은 거 많이 개최할 예정이니까요. 많은 관심 부탁드립니다. 제가 오리진 프로토콜을 모르시는 분들을 위해서 제가 간단히 설명을 드릴게요. 이제 저희 co-founder 공동 창업자 조 씨가 영어로 발표를 할 텐데, 이제 한국말로 되게 간단하게 말씀드리면 이제 블록체인 위에서 탈중앙화된 마켓플레이스를 구축하는 그런 비전을 갖고 있고요. 저희가 메인넷 베타 런치를 했어요. 그게 저의 가장 큰 뉴스고, 그래서 한 달 전쯤에 이제 저희 메인넷 at originprotocol.com 가시면 직접 이더리움을 가지고 사고 팔기를 하실 수가 있어요. 지금 당장. 그래서 이따가 저희 조 씨가 프로덕트 데모를 이렇게 보여드릴 예정이고요. 저희가 샌프란시스코 팀이 있고 또 볼더리 팀이 있고, 이렇게 한국 커뮤니티를 위해서 저희 소영님, 밀라님을 저희가 이렇게 찾았어요. 그래서 저희는 너무 영광이고, 앞으로 한국 커뮤니티 저희 카톡과 또 이제 밀라님께서 많이 말씀해 주실 텐데, 이런 커뮤니케이션을 통해서 한국말로 직접 궁금하신 점 직접 이렇게 저희에게 많이 물어봐 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 소영님.
예, 저희 지금 간략하게 저희가 한국 분들하고 어떻게 소통하고 어떻게 가까워지고 있는지에 대해서 조금 소개해 드리려고 해요. 저희 기본적으로 세 가지 채널을 가지고 있어요. 첫 번째 한국 카카오톡, 오리진 텔레그램 카카오톡 가지고 있고요. 두 번째 텔레그램 있고, 저희 세 번째로 네이버 블로그 운영하고 있습니다. 대다수의 많은 프로젝트들이 주로 영어로 많은 정보를 전달하고 있는데요. 저희 오리진 프로토콜에서는 한국 커뮤니티를 굉장히 중요하게 생각하고 있습니다. 그래서 오리진에서 발행하는 최신 소식 뉴스들, 그리고 언론 보도 내용들, 또는 다른 사람들이 저희 오리진 프로토콜을 어떻게 보는 건지에 대한 정보와 같은 다양한 내용들을 저희가 국문으로 직접 번역해서 전달 드리고 있어요. 또한 조금 있다가 이제 저희 공동 창립자 조시 프레이저님께서 저희 오리진 데모 D앱 어떻게 사용하는지 보여주실 텐데요. 그 방법 절차들 역시 저희가 국문으로 다 번역을 해서 네이버 블로그에 올려뒀어요. 그래서 보시면서 조금 궁금하신 점 있으시면은 저희 블로그 통해서 오리진은 어떤 것을 하고 있고 어떤 방식으로 저희 오리진 베타 버전 사용할 수 있는지도 직접 확인해 보실 수 있으니까 많은 관심 부탁드릴게요. 네. 그리고 혹시 오리진 티셔츠 아까 다들 많이 가져가신 것 같은데, 저희가 앞에 저기 들어오는 입구에 저희 텔레그램 그리고 카카오톡 조인할 수 있는 그 QR코드를 배치해 뒀어요. 그래서 나가시기 전에 꼭 한 번씩 관심 가져주시고 저희 커뮤니티에 함께 해주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. 자, 이제 저희 공동 사역자신 조 씨를 모셔볼 텐데요. Josh, please come up to the stage. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Kay and Mila. 안녕하세요. Hello everyone, I'm Josh Fraser. I'm one of the co-founders of Origin Protocol, And it's awesome to see so many people here tonight. Thank you all for coming out to hear what we're up to and for showing your support of this project. It really blows me away every time I come and see just how strong the community is here in Korea and how many people share in our vision for creating decentralized marketplaces. And I'm excited to show you a demo and give you a little bit of an update on where we're at. I know many of you have heard about our product before and followed along our project. So I want to give you a little bit of an update on some of the stuff that we've launched in the last few months. So for background on Origin and what we're doing, what we're creating are decentralized marketplaces on the blockchain. And it all started back in 1995 with the launch of Craigslist. It took classifieds out of a newspaper and it put them on the internet. And fast forward to today, and we have not only companies like Craigslist and eBay, but we have all of these new types of companies which we commonly refer to as in the sharing economy. Companies like Uber and Airbnb, which allow you not only to buy atomic units of items, but also fractional usage of assets and services. And these companies have changed all of our lives. We regularly use home sharing, car sharing services, as well as these other services would allow us to share stuff with other people. And the question that we're asking ourselves at Origin, and the question I want you to think about tonight is this: what if we could replace every one of these multi-million and multi-billion-dollar companies with open source protocols which aren't owned or controlled by anyone? What if instead we could create a set of rules to govern these marketplaces and have marketplaces which are governed by a set of open, fair, and transparent rules instead of the whims of corporate rulers? And that's what we're trying to do at Origin. We call it the sharing economy without intermediaries. We're a platform for enabling all sorts of decentralized marketplaces to exist on the blockchain. And there's 4 reasons we talk about all the time about why this is so important. They fall into 2 categories: access and financial incentives. I don't know why the graphics are not loading here. Just give me 1 second. All right, we're just going to go with it. Sorry about that. So there's 4 big reasons. 2 of them are referring to the financial incentives. So firstly, when we cut out the middleman, the fees go with it. And so both the buyer and the seller can get a better price if we cut out the middleman. And these sharing economy marketplaces usually charge 20, 30, sometimes 40% out of every transaction. We're all better off if we can get rid of the middleman. The second way we can have better financial incentives is by rewarding the early participants in the network. If I had a ride the other day with a guy, he was the 30th driver on Uber. And he's still driving for Uber today and complaining because he's making less money than when he first started. But when Uber IPOs for billions of dollars, that guy is not going to see a single penny. And we don't think that's right. There's a more equitable way to do this. And especially as a new company, as we're thinking about how do we go up against these multi-billion-dollar companies? How do we encourage people to use these applications, even in the early days, when we're asking them to use MetaMask or put up with all of the user friction that goes along with dealing with cryptocurrency? The only way we can do that is by sharing an incentive and sharing some of the upside with those early participants in the network, the people who create that value in the first place. We also want to improve access for people. What we've seen with Uber and Airbnb is they've got banned in cities all around the world. Uber is banned in London, in Vancouver. They're banned in Austin, Texas. Even here, you can only get the black car. You can't get the other cars that you would be able to get in other cities. Similarly, Airbnb has been banned in Tokyo. 40,000 listings overnight disappeared. Now we can't change the local laws, but we can remove that single point of failure and make it so that the government that doesn't understand technology and can't come in and just shut everything down with one fell swoop. And we can do that by creating a truly peer-to-peer marketplace, not pure to giant corporate monopoly to peer marketplace, which is what all of these sharing economy marketplaces are today. And lastly, and this is something I'm personally really passionate about and really excited about, is how we can serve the 2 billion people on this planet who can't use Uber and Airbnb because they don't have bank accounts, they don't have credit cards. An estimated 2 billion people on this planet are unbanked. But for an increasing number of them, they have inexpensive Android phones, and that means they have access to cryptocurrency. They have access to these new types of decentralized peer-to-peer marketplaces. And we really believe this technology is going to leapfrog the traditional banking system, much like cell phones were able to leapfrog traditional landlines. And for billions of people on this planet, the very first digital marketplace of any kind that they're going to use is going to be on a peer-to-peer network, hopefully something like Origin. So there's 3 different parts to what we're building. First is open source protocols. These are our smart contracts which govern the rules for these marketplaces. On top of that, we're building a set of developer libraries which make it really easy for developers to be able to get started and create their own marketplace without having to learn Solidity or deal with all of the intricacies and weirdness of the Ethereum network and Solidity programming. And lastly, we're building our own dApp. It's very important for people to be able to have a nice, easy-to-use user experience, and we've put a lot of time into making something that looks and feels much like a traditional app that you're used to, but is still acting in a very decentralized way. And we'll get to that demo here in a second. Really excited to announce our Mainnet Beta. If you haven't checked it out yet, that's my one ask for you tonight. If you do one thing, if you remember one thing, please go check out our dApp and play with it. What we're looking for is feedback from our community. So please go on there. It's dApp.originprotocol.com. You can find a link to it all over all of our materials. It's one thing we want you to do. Buy something, put something up for sale. We'd love to start seeing our community start playing with technology and give us feedback on how we can make it better. So there's a few different pieces that I'm going to demo today. I'll just give you a quick overview of some of the different components. The first one is identity. Identity is one of those really important things you have to get right for a lot of other features in the future to work. For example, how do you do messaging if you don't know who the person is on the other side of a transaction? How do you buy or sell from someone when you don't know who they are? How do you build that trust with an anonymous stranger on the internet? And the way you do that is with identity. And so at Origin, we've been one of the leaders of an open standard. It was developed by Fabian Bosteller, who is part of the Ethereum Foundation. He's also the creator of the Mist browser, Web3.js, and a bunch of other stuff like the ERC20 token, which you've probably heard of. So Fabian came up with his standard in November of last year. We saw it, we said, this is great. This is what we want for public profiles on Ethereum for buyers and sellers. And so we actually built the first working implementation of ERC 725 standard. We've since integrated it into our dApp. And so it allows you to create your public profile on the Ethereum network and you say, here's who I am. And then you can get attestations from other trusted third parties who'll say, yes, I've verified this piece of information about them. I'll attest to the fact they own this email address or this phone number or this Facebook account. And slowly you can start building up some trust and reputation, starting with that identity layer. And once you have that solid identity layer, it allows you to do other things. You can do things like arbitration and insurance, and everything relies on having this solid identity layer. And this is an area where we're continuing to do research and continuing to make improvements to open standards around how you do identity on the blockchain. One of the other problems we ran into very quickly at Ethereum was at Origin, is how do you send messages to people? It's really important for buyers and sellers to be able to communicate with each other and to talk about the transaction. And so one of the things we developed was origin messaging. And it's really neat. What we started with the premise that no one wants to pay gas to message someone. That's just crazy. We're not used to spending money to send messages. And so what we came up with was a system where we use your Ethereum wallet to sign messages, but then we use IPFS and OrbitDB, which is built on IPFS, to do the transport of those messages. And so this is really neat because it allows us to have free, instant messaging with all of the same security guarantees of the Ethereum network. You can know for sure that the person who sent that message is indeed the owner of that Ethereum wallet. One other feature we thought was really important for our use case is arbitration. What if there's a dispute between the buyer and the seller? We want all of the messages to be encrypted end to end, no exceptions, no asterisks next to that, except if there's a dispute. And either the buyer or the seller ought to be able to loop in a third-party arbitrator and be able to show with certainty that what exactly was said between those two parties. And so what our messaging does is it gives us an auditable trail for these rare exceptions when arbitrators are looped in, and they can know for sure exactly who said what when, because it's all digitally signed and chained together. We have smart contracts which provide the escrow for all of the funds in the marketplace. So think about a marketplace. The number one thing that any marketplace provides is a place for buyers and sellers to meet each other. It's a digital town square, right, for buyers and sellers. Most of what these applications are doing is simply making introductions and bringing people together. And now we can meet each other and find each other on the blockchain. And so our smart contracts are where that happens, and are the place where that happens. You can find each other on the smart contract, and our smart contracts have all of the rules on how you make an offer and how the seller accepts that offer, and then how the money is held in escrow. So if there's a dispute, the arbitrator can help. And then once the transaction is done, the funds are released from the escrow, and the transaction is complete. You can leave a rating and a review. One other thing we ran into, we don't have a centralized server in our stack, right? It's all, it's just Ethereum and IPFS. When you load it, it's just some HTML and JavaScript talking directly to the blockchain. And so there's a problem when someone buys the good that you're selling. There's no one to send you an email. There's no central server that would normally send you an email or notification or text notification and let you know, hey, someone bought your thing, congrats. So what we wanted to do is really stick to our goal of being decentralized. We wanted this piece to be decentralized as well. And so this was the main impetus for creating our mobile app, is that we have a blockchain listener that can listen to the blockchain for different events that impact your addresses that you control. And so then it can tell you, can pop up a notification on your phone saying, hey, someone bought your item, or hey, you have a message from someone asking about this item. So this is really important for us. Once we started working on it, we realized there's a ton of other functionality where you can bake into this mobile wallet. And so we're really excited to have it. It's still really new and early in development, but we're really excited about where this is going, especially for emerging markets. Having a mobile experience is going to be really, really important. And so with that, let me jump over and try and give you a demo. All right, so what we're looking at here, this is live. So this is, you see the URL here is dApp.originprotocol.com. This is our live marketplace. And you can see different items that people in our community have been posting for sale. And some of these have been completed, and there's real Ethereum being transacted back and forth. And you can browse through these and see some of the different listings and things that people have offered. And there's a lot of goods, some services, some really neat stuff. You saw on the first page there we had this listing from Paul from Pantera Capital. So this was interesting. He said, for 5 ETH, you can pitch me on your ICO. And someone paid 5 ETH to pitch him. And when he got on the video to hear the pitch, the guy said, "I'm an LP. I want to invest in Pantera." And so not only did he get end up getting the 5 ETH, he ended up getting millions of dollars of extra investment for his fund. So that's a really cool initial story from our marketplace. What I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to jump over to the Rinkeby network. And this is just going to make it load. It's just going to make it a little bit faster to work. Sorry, bear with me here. Do you remember? We can't redirect. Oh, different state. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. All right, so in my MetaMask, I've set up 2 accounts. I've set up a buyer and a seller. So we'll switch back and forth so you can see both sides of that here. And I put a little bit of test ETH in these accounts so we can play around. So first thing I'll do here is set up my profile. So you'll see here I show up as an unnamed user. And so first thing I'm going to do is fill out my profile. And this is using ERC 725, the open standard for self-sovereign identity that I told you about before. And so what I can do here is make some claims about myself. So for those of you who haven't researched identity and how we think about this stuff, we call them claims. So these are claims are things that I claim about myself. I could claim to be anyone I want. I could claim to be Barack Obama, but you all can see that that's not true. Here, I'll just claim that I'm Josh Fraser. And we can put that up there. And I'm the co-founder of Origin, so let's put this on as well. And then, so at this point, it's just stored in my local browser. We haven't published this to the blockchain. But then we have these other options here. It says I can verify my phone number, my email address, my Facebook, my Twitter. And these are attestations. So that is third parties that you trust that are willing to vouch for me and say, this is verify my information and say, we've checked that you control this. So the way you do it is a flow that all of you are familiar with. Let me just do my email address here. And I'll just put in my email. And when I do this, it's going to send me a code. So this is the centralized server. It's going to send me a code. I'll check it here on my phone. All right. We have 387060. And now it is verified. So now Centralized Service Origin has attested the fact that I control this email address, and we have proof. So at this point, we still haven't published anything to the blockchain. This is all just in my local browser. But I have a signed attestation from Origin that I've verified my email address. Now we can take this for a lot of different things, even services that don't have APIs. For example, Airbnb. So this is an interesting example for us. We want Airbnb hosts to be able to come and start hosting on our platform. But what if you've hosted hundreds of people on Airbnb? There should be a way for you to port that reputation over to Origin so that even if it's your first time selling on Origin, people can know who you are and that you're a trusted host. So what we do, if you were to choose the Airbnb option here, we give you a special string of words to post on your Airbnb profile. And we ask for the link to your profile, and then we're able to cryptographically prove that the owner of that Ethereum wallet is the same person who owns and controls that Airbnb account. And so that way we can have this two-way link between the Ethereum account and the Airbnb account, and it allows us to, get sort of jumpstart the network on some of these things. So now I'll hit publish. Now here we're going to remind people, hey, this is a blockchain. Are you sure you want to publish this on an immutable blockchain? Right? So a little bit of a privacy reminder for people. First we show here's the information that will be public, and here's the information that won't be public. So we're not actually going to publish your email address to the blockchain. We're just going to publish basically a check mark saying Origin has verified the email address. If anything goes wrong, we have it and can help. So here we go. We're going to confirm a transaction. It's going to pop up in MetaMask. For 22 cents, I can deploy my identity contract. And here we go. So it is now being published to the blockchain. So the way it works, our architecture is we're using Ethereum and smart contracts, but all of the data is actually stored on IPFS. And so this helps us keep down the cost of what we're doing because it can get quite expensive if we were to publish all of this data exactly on the blockchain. So IPFS is great as a shared data layer that we can publish to. So now I want to show off messaging. So I told you a little bit about messaging, how it works. First thing it prompts me to do is enable messaging. So I'm going to click on that. And it asks me to sign something. So again, this doesn't cost any gas. It's completely free, but I need to sign this message with my Ethereum wallet saying I'm ready to start messaging on Origin. I'll sign that. And once I do, it's going to give me the second message to sign. So what it does is actually generates an ephemeral key. The reason for this is we don't want to pop up a MetaMask alert every time you send a message to someone. We want you to be able to just message freely back and forth. So we use your Ethereum wallet to generate an ephemeral key, and then we publish that into an OrbitDB database. So I'm going to do that here. And now once I sign that, I'm ready to go. And so I should be able to click in here. Congratulations, you can chat with other users. And so now I'll be signed up and ready to go on the marketplace, and I can chat with other buyers and sellers that I may interact with. So let's switch over. I'm going to become a seller now. And I'm going to add a listing. So I click a category. We've got a few example categories here. And I happen to have something with me that I'm wanting to sell on the marketplace. So my friend Ryan, I'm going to throw him up for sale. I don't know what category it goes in here. Let's see if we can find it. Toys and games. There we go. All right. All we'll put a price here of how much is Ryan go for? $10. All right. Well, let's make it cheap. Yeah. All right. And we'll put some pictures here. Aww. All right, now we get the option to boost our listing. So this is our token model. You can optionally offer a commission to the marketplace operator to help give an incentive for him to feature your listing or promote it and help you get it sold. So we're going to skip this for now. We're going to review it. You can see the pictures here. And again, we'll confirm this transaction. It's going to pop up. And MetaMask is going to cost us a penny to publish this. We'll say yes. And if all goes well, we'll be able to see our listing on the testnet marketplace. There we go. So listing has been created. And so we go through a few reminders about how the marketplace works. And I encourage all of you to go and check us out for yourself. So again, dap.originprotocol.com. Would love to have you check it out, try the experience, see what it's like going through the flow, and try buy something, put something up for sale, and see what experience the future for yourself. So a little bit about our roadmap. So like I said, we just launched Mainnet about a month ago, and now next thing we're excited to be working on is a marketplace creator, where you'll be able to upload your logo, pick some colors, choose what type of marketplace you want, a domain you want to host it on, and you'll be able to create your own marketplace that's branded for your marketplace, and have that running in a truly decentralized application. Today we have over 40 partners that have committed to building on top of our platform, and we're excited to have a couple of them here today. So I'd like to take a minute to invite Ms. Joe from WeHome, one of our partners here, and maybe just take a minute and tell us a little bit about WeHome and why you're excited to be working with Origin.
Thank you. 안녕하세요. 위홈의 조산구 대표라고 합니다. 한 7년 동안 코자자라고 해서 에어비앤비 카피캣으로 해왔고요. 최근에 이제 블록체인으로 해서 홈쉐어링 온 블록체인이라고 해서 위홈을 시작을 했습니다. 그래서 에어비앤비하고 똑같고요. 에어비앤비 슈퍼호스트만 대상으로 합니다. 그래서 퀄리티는 개런티되고, 그런데 수수료도 없는데 인센티브까지 주는 그런 모델입니다. 그 블록체인 기술과 토큰 이코노미가 아니었으면 도저히 생각하기 힘들었던 모델인데요. 에어비앤비하고 똑같은데 조합형, 그러니까 에어비앤비는 투자받은 사람들이 가지고 있는 플랫폼이라고 하면 위홈은 게스트와 호스트가 주인입니다. 그렇기 때문에 삑을 안 뜯어도 이렇게 돌아가게끔 되어 있습니다. 그래서 저희는 이제 위홈에 대한 확신을 가지고 있는 것은 확실한 시장이 있고, 두 번째로는 저희가 7년 동안 경험을 했거든요. 그러니까 조합주의라는 거가 되게 이상적인데 에어비앤비나 다른 서비스하고 똑같은 퀄리티의 서비스를 제공하면서 거기다 추가적인 밸류를 제공해야지 본질적인 서비스를 제공하지 못한다면 의미가 없거든요. 그런 면에서 어떤 경쟁력이 있고, 그다음에 이미 저희가 9월달에 이더리움 서울 미더에서 처음으로 이제 공식 발표를 했는데, 그때 이미 MVP 저희가 출시를 해가지고 보여드렸거든요. 그래서 어떤 프로젝트보다도 저희가 자신을 가지고 있고, 내년 정도에는 블록체인 등장 이후에 제대로 된 디앱이 없다고 하는데, 저희 위홈이 에어비앤비를 와해시키는 그런 모델로서 시장에서 확실한 답을 드리도록 하겠습니다. 1년 동안 준비해서 지금 적극적으로 추진하고 있고요. 그 다음에 오리진하고는 저희가 3월달부터 계속 이제 일단 철학이 같아요. 인터미디에이트를 없애겠다는 어떤 그런 철학, 그리고 사회를 위해서 뭔가 기술로 기여하겠다는 것. 저희가 오리진한테 기대하는 건 뭐냐면 너무 할 게 많아요. 이 홈쉐어링 온 블록체인을 하려다 보니까 그 홈쉐어링 자체도 할 게 많은데 프로토콜 이쪽에서 블록체인 이해할 것도 뭐 너무 많고 그래서 저희가 기대하는 거는 본질적으로 저희 철학을 제대로 임플리멘트하는 데 있어서 오리진이 여러 가지 월렛부터 다양한 테크놀로지를 프로토콜로 제공을 한다고 하면 그러면 일단 저희는 그 홈쉐어링 쪽에서 에어비앤비를 능가하는 그런 쪽의 가치를 만들어서 사회를 아름답게 하고 그다음에 이제 오리진이 다른 뭐 드라이브 라이드 쉐어링 이런 쪽으로 같이 한다고 하면 궁극적으로는 이 사회를 위해서 그 소비자를 위해서 그다음에 공유 경제의 진정한 모델인 조합주의를 실현할 수 있을 것 같아서 대단히 기대를 많이 하고 있고요. 오리진 화이팅입니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you. And now Eon from Meetup Plus, another one of our partners here in Korea. We're very excited to be working with them. They just launched a new game, which I encourage all of you to check it out.
땡큐 조시. 이게 뭔가를 좀 보여드려야 되는데 지금 보여줄 수가 없네요. 그래서 대충 저희가 일주일 전에 디그스타라는 게임을 출시를 했어요. 저는 미탭스 플러스의 공식적인 직함은 CIS고요. 하는 일은 블록체인 개발 도맡아서 하고 있습니다. 반갑습니다. 일주일 전에 저희가 그 블록체인 게임을 하나 출시를 했어요. 디그스타라는 게임인데 오늘 보여드리려고 동영상을 준비해왔는데 안 돼서 그냥 말로만 설명을 드릴게요. 데기스타 안에는 그 크립토 키티스처럼 다양한 어떤 크리처들이 있는데 크리처들을 서로 조합하고 조합해서 뭔가 새로운 크리처를 만들어내는 어떤 시스템이 있어요. 그래서 그 크리처를 거래할 수 있는 플랫폼을 저희가 고민을 하다가 마침 오리진 프로토콜이 있더라고요. 저희가 고민하는 대부분의 문제들을 해결해주는 플랫폼이 있어서 고맙게 저희가 이제 오리진 프로토콜에 연결을 해서 이렇게 지금 저희가 같이 테맥스라는 아이템 익스체인지 플랫폼을 만들고 있습니다. 이게 있네요. 예, 지난번에 사용했던 그림이네요. 네, 이렇게 지금 진행을 하고 있고요. 아마 내년 한 3월 정도에 저희가 오픈을 할 수 있을 것 같아요. 그리고 디그스타라는 게임도 한 번씩 해보시고 저희가 오픈하는 테맥스라는 플랫폼은 일단 ERC721 기반의 모든 게임의 아이템을 다 담을 수 있는 플랫폼을 지금 만들고 있는 거고요. 그래서 그 부분에서 저희가 막히는 부분들은 이 오리진 프로토콜 개발진들과 얘기해서 풀고 있는 부분들이 많아요. 그래서 혹시나 뒤에 게임을 만드시면 저희 쪽에 연락을 주시면 저희들랑 같이 뭔가를 또 해볼 수 있을 것 같아요. 네, 이상입니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much. We're incredibly excited to be working with these partners. Korea is an incredibly important market for us, and we're excited to work with lots of other people. And so if you are interested in building a marketplace, we'd love to talk to you as well. A little bit about how we do things at Origin. We have everything we do is 100% open source. And not only are we open source, but we do all of our collaboration in public as well. So all of our engineering calls are public, all of our meeting notes are public, all of our discussion about how we should build our features are in public. And what this means is that it's very easy for people to follow along on what we're building and also to jump in and contribute. And so we're really proud of the fact we have over 60 open source contributors to our project. And if you're a developer and you're in the room and are looking for a project to get involved with, I would encourage you to check out Origin, check out our GitHub and our Discord where we do all our collaboration. We'd love to have more of you participating in helping us build this vision. We're backed by some incredible investors all over the world. Hashed here in Korea are a big supporter of ours, and we're proud to call them an investor. We also have some amazing individuals who are particularly from Silicon Valley who are very well known. Alexis Ohanian, who created Reddit, the third largest website on the internet, is an investor. Gary Tan, he's a partner at Y Combinator, an early stage incubator in Silicon Valley. Gil Pinchina, first and largest angel investor on AngelList, as well as Steve Jang, he's an early advisor to Uber, and Randall Kaplan, who is the founder of Akamai, one of the largest CDNs in the world. So we're really grateful to be backed by so many great individuals and so many great funds as well. Talked a little bit about what we're looking for already around developers. If you're a developer, we'd love to have you involved. If you have a marketplace that you'd like to see created on Origin, we'd love to talk to you. And if you want to join our community, we have our Kakao group. We have a Korean language Telegram group. We'd love to have you join that as well. And that is it. Thanks, Erica.
질문 좀 받겠습니다.
네.
오, 네.
And we're going to give Ryan away to the best question.
지금 여기 규제 지역에서 제품과 서비스를 반입을 허가한다라는 플랫폼인데요. 그 구체적으로 어떤 규제 그리고 제품과 서비스 한 가지만 좀 말씀을 해주시고, 그리고 두 번째로는 지금 미국 내에 아마존 쪽에서 D2C (Direct to Customer) 이 플랫폼 쪽에서도 AI 도입해가지고 유사한 프로젝트를 시행하고 있는 것으로 알고 있는데 그쪽과의 차별성에 대해서 좀 말씀해 주실 수 있나요? 키워드 먼저 말씀드릴게요. 그러니까 규제 지역 그리고 제품 서비스.
So he's asking what kind of regulations are you planning to overcome, I guess? 뭐라 그러지?
So there's like different type of like regulation all over the world, and then he was curious, like, do you have any specific examples, like the origin can overcome like those regulation first?
Yeah, so we can't change our local laws. If your city says it's illegal to do ride sharing, we can't change the law. What we can change is that single point of failure, where it's impossible to come in and shut it all down with one fell swoop. We can make it so the government has to pull over every driver one by one and fine them or give them a ticket or whatever. And that completely changes the game. In Tokyo, where 40,000 listings disappeared overnight, that wouldn't have been possible if there wasn't one company that they could go and knock on the door and and have it all turned off. In a truly peer-to-peer fashion, our goal here is not to break the law, it's to maximize personal liberty and let people make decisions for themselves. And yes, you have to live with the consequences if you're caught or you're breaking the law. We obviously encourage people to obey and respect the local laws, but really it's about maximizing personal liberty and giving people more freedom.
And the second part of the question was, there's a service by Amazon called
지금
D.
아마존 쪽에서도
이름이 뭐지?
지금 D2C (Direct to Customer)
Oh, direct to customers, like it's used by through AI, and he's wondering like what the difference may be, like what would be the differentiating factor between that and Origin Protocol.
So the biggest thing is just that it's decentralized and the benefits that you get with a decentralized network. So there's no one owner or company that owns it. It's a peer-to-peer network. There's no fees. There's no single point of failure. You redistribute the value to the participants in the network, and also we can go to emerging markets where people are unbanked.
그 아마존도 글로벌 파트너십이 지금 지금 아닌 걸로 알고 있는데 혹시 참여가 가능할지.
아마존이 참여하는
여기에요?
예.
Could Amazon be possibly a partner at Origin Protocol?
Someday. I know we're running short on time, but let's take one or two more questions real fast.
Or two more questions.
Yeah, and come find me afterwards as well. So.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
What I want to ask is that why did the Origin Protocol choose to use ETH as a means of payment like for your commerce?
So we used ETH because more people have ETH than any other sort of currency that we could come up with, right? So we could have asked people to use our own token, which a lot of people do, but less people have Origin tokens than ETH, and ETH is relatively easy to get, and pretty much every country in the world now you can get ETH. So it's really about access. If you can get ETH, then it's very easy to get started on our marketplace. Long term, ETH has some problems, right? There's a lot of volatility in the price of ETH. We've seen it on the marketplace today. Everything is 40% off because of market prices, right? So what we actually think the solution to this is our stable coins. And stable coins allow us especially when you have a lot of time in between when you post a listing and when you deliver it. Stablecoins are probably a solution here, and we support them already at the smart contract level, and we're working in supporting them in the UI layer as well. So I think that's where we're going to be heading. All right, one last question. One last one.
Short question.
Yes.
You were talking about decentralized market, right? So how are you different from Silk Road?
So we draw a bright line between Origin, the open source protocol, and Origin, the US-based company with founders who don't want to go to jail. So on the open source protocol side, it wouldn't be effective or appropriate for us to do any sort of censorship there. And so there's nothing in the protocol layer that stops you from posting stuff. That said, the dApp that we're hosting on our website or any of our domains, of course we're going to, it'd be foolish for us to surface any sort of illegal goods or services. And of course we have to, that varies by jurisdiction on exactly what is legal and what isn't. And so we'll do our best to respect local laws. We'll have hide lists. So if there is illegal content in your country, we won't show that on our dApp. Of course, it will still be available on the blockchain. And so if you set up your own version of the dApp, you'll be able to access all of that content. All right.
네, 다시 한번
Thanks,
박수
guys.
드리겠습니다.